So welcome everyone to our August Starseed Hot Seat Coaching event. I'm the director and head instructor of Starseed Academy Coach Training, and we actually have one of our instructors who's in training right now, Julian, who's going to be co-leading our hot seat coaching today. So thank you all for being here. We started this, in June? When did we start this? Yeah, about June. And the turnout has always been great. And the intention behind this is to build community and also to support our coaches, whether you are new, you're experienced, to build a business in alignment with ease and flow, really, because I don't believe that to have a life of freedom, you should be burnt out and forcing things to work. And I think no matter where you are in the game, whether you're in your first year, second, third, or 10th year, it's time to experience a business and life where you feel expanded and free. And then your business is working for you and you're not working for your business. So this is to help you give you space to answer any questions you may have around clients, payments, coaching skills, anything like that. And it will offer some mentoring and some real life advice. I've been a spiritual coach or certified for about 6 years. And so I have my own coaching practice, Goddess of Wisdom Spiritual Life Coaching. I'm located just outside of Toronto, but I work with clients all over the world. I do just virtually now. So I do private coaching, group coaching, mentorship, and masterminds, and now obviously run my own school to train other coaches to become high-level spiritual coaches and experience a business of abundance and flow. So, Dominica, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. So what we'll do, I'll start the timer here to honor our time. It's just going to be about an hour, and then we'll just do, so if maybe you just want to witness today, maybe you do have a question you would like support with. So I'll check in with each of you. Before we go into that, I do have some special announcements of some upcoming courses. So you are the first to know. So we have 3 events coming up, or 3 I would say platforms for extra support to elevate your business. So number 1 is we're offering a business alignment with human design workshop, which will be led by our human design specialist, Julian. And what this is a 5-week course to go deeper into your human design. So you learn how to show up more powerfully for your clients and build a business and marketing in alignment to your design. So there's more ease and flow and less force and burnout. And my favorite part about this is breaking all constructs around social conditioning that you have to overwork, you have to work 16-hour days, you have to. And to me, again, that's a different vibration in building a business and life of alignment. For me personally, when I went deeper into my human design, things really just elevated and took my business really to 6 figures. We do integrate that, the foundations into very basic into Starseed Academy in our marketing chapter, and how to, even in your intro session, your first conversation. So there's that pressure taken off that you have to sell in order to get clients. And the minute I really took that out of my business, clients just started coming to me. So we do integrate that in our Starseed Academy Coach Training program, but now we have something for those who want to go deeper into their design. So it's a 5-week program. We are starting that Tuesday, September 21st, and it's about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So it'll be from 8 to 9:30, 10 p.m. Eastern time. And the rate for that is $550 in full, or two payments of $300 US dollars. So if you are interested, please email us, because it is going to be limited spots. Email info@starseedacademy.ca. So use that email even for any of the other upcoming workshops we're going to be sharing here today. You are the first to know to save your spot, because we're only keeping that, because we're keeping it small, because it is important for both Julie and I that every participant gets the support they need to go deeper into their design and their chart. If you want to learn how to read your charts and integrate this into your business, there is going to be a follow-up course for that. That's going to be coming in November. So if you are interested in that, we're going to add you to the wait list. So email us on that as well. That'll be happening in November, but this one will be September 21st. The next one is, which I'm so excited to share about, is the Freedom and Flow Mastermind. So we have been offering this, and you do get a snippet of what a mastermind would be, but we're going to go even deeper. So the only two complimentary masterminds or hot seat coaching will be in September and October, and then that will be the last of it. And then we're moving to the Freedom and Flow Mastermind. So this is to create a life and business of freedom and flow by mastering your mindset, your energy, and using exponential strategy. So what this is, it's a monthly mastermind for 6 months. This begins on Wednesday, November 3rd, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern time. And it'll just be a max of 2 hours. So the beginning of it, you're going to learn a strategy on mindset or energy or something you can implement practically and right away into your business and life to start creating a life and business of freedom and flow, getting clients with more ease, opening up to abundance, clearing those blocks. And then there's going to be hot seat coaching portion. And then there's going to be a breakout room exercise as well. So that is going to be limited spots as well, because again, it's important that whoever is registered gets that support. One-on-one, because I'll be taking September to October off. And so I'm only going to be taking on private clients through the mastermind. So your options for that is just the mastermind alone will be $650 a month. Or if you would like the mastermind plus additional one-on-one support, where we meet one-on-one, that'll be $11.11 a month. That's the early bird special. Okay, so that's for 6 months. And then the regular, so this is only until September 11th is when I'm offering this price. And after that, it'll be $850 a month for just the mastermind, or mastermind plus private coaching with me, $1350 a month. Now also know what's included. So you get, for just the mastermind, you're getting the one live group mentorship coaching mastermind. You're going to get bonus training as well. So something you can use in the car or on your jog or on your walk, an extra strategy that you can implement for more ease and flow into your business and life. Also, this is, even if you just don't, because some of my clients from my coaching practices will be joining here as well, or just someone who just wants to, whatever focus you want, but really, because we have a lot of people who have businesses here, it could be applied for your business as well. So you get the live group training, you get the bonus training as well that you can implement, and then unlimited group access in support via Slack. Okay. And last but not least, our next cohort, that we have some people already on the wait list. Our next cohort for our high-level spiritual coach training, that includes up-leveling your coaching skills, increasing your confidence, dealing with your coaching blocks, that's blocking clients from coming to you, and marketing in a more conscious way. That is a certification program, and that will begin Wednesday, November 24th. And it's an evening class from 8 to 10 to 10:30 p.m. So it's about 2 to 2.5 hour class, depending how many students we get. We're putting a cap of just 8 students in the class. And right now we have 5 people on the wait list. If you are interested or you're already on the wait list, you will get $500 off of tuition. Okay. And so the total for that right now is $6,900 USD. You have the full option, or you have payment plan options over 3, 6, and 9 month payment plan options. But if you are on the wait list or want to be, those who are on the wait list before this, they will receive a $500 discount if they register. Or for those who are on this call today, if you are interested, send an email, and then we will apply that for you if you're interested in joining our next cohort on Wednesday, November 24th. And that'll be a 6-month course. We'll just be meeting once a month. Once a week. My apologies. A lot of events going on. Any questions about anything I shared there? No worries if you have to sign off early. We totally understand that. So if you're interested in any of those classes to be added to the wait list, or you want to hold your spot, get registered, please email info@starseedacademy.ca. Again, we keep things intimate. So really we just put we put like an 8 cap in each class so that you all get your individual support in the group aspect. So yeah, hopefully we see you out in one of those. Okay. So let's get started into our hot seat coaching. So who would like to go first in terms of if you have any questions around your business, money, clients? Roz, start us off.
Hey, everybody. So I woke up this morning and I'm tired.
What's making you
I'm not
tired?
even working, and I'm not even working another job. But I'm acting like I'm working another job.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out how to pull back my hours now that I'm focusing on my business full time, and because I have to get out of this routine of I gotta work 8 to 5. Like I don't need to do that anymore. It's like my body won't get out of that loop. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to understand or figure out some ways to stop doing that.
Okay.
I don't know if I can.
You don't know if you can?
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm made that way.
Do you want to get out of 8 to 5?
Yeah, I do. I want to go take a nap.
Okay. Who told you got to do the 8 to 5?
This has been like instilled in me since, oh wow, this goes back to watching my parents work all day.
Mm-hmm.
3, because my parents, my dad was a security guard at the local prison, and my mom worked in the factory. So you didn't get off work until the whistle blew.
Yeah. So definitely like a generational thing for sure, that mindset with our parents that you come here, you work hard, you provide for your family, you come home, you cook, put the kids to sleep, go to bed, repeat, right? So just be clear, what support can we offer you today around this?
I think I'm looking for some ideas on how to like stop. Like I need to like stop my day and stop and like I have to stop it earlier. I need to stop it earlier and not feel like I'm unaccomplished for the day.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then I'll have Julian share, because I know she's going to have some great insight around you being a generator in human design. What's coming up for me and what I'm hearing was as guilt underneath that, in terms of, I have to work from 8 to 5. And if I don't, it'll mean, so before you even said it, without feeling unproductive, like how do you work 8 to 5 and not feel productive, right? There's something you must be doing, and even not doing, sometimes not doing is productive. But yeah, I'm just hearing that the guilt and pressure that I have to do. And I know you came from a full-time job into where you are now, so it is that switch. But a few things here, and I know it's easier said than done, is, okay, well, a few things. Let me just sort it out in my brain here. I would just say number one is like, how do you want that 8 to 5 to look like, right? Because it sounds like you're really good at scheduling and you got structure and you follow that really well. So some things I can offer here is like writing out a schedule, or even in your calendar, block out, I'm only working 1 hour and then a break, 1 hour and break, or 1 hour and nap. So really just how do you want your 8 to 5 to look like, and where do you feel most productive, and where do you come alive the most, right? Maybe it's not starting at 8 o'clock. Maybe you need to work. Maybe you need to take that moment, have a slower moment, or go work out, or expend that energy in a different way that's for you, and then start working, quote unquote, working at like 11 or 12. And then when is your lunch? What will refuel that energy? I know as generators, you need to expend that energy. You have a lot of energy, you have a lot of drive, and also the mind could get in the way of like, you have this energy, so you have to use it towards your business. But how much is that energy going towards what lights you up and what's productive? Another thing that comes to mind, and I think, I don't know if I mentioned this in class, is time tracking. So take a day to really track every 5-10 minutes of what you do. And I know it sounds like a lot, but even just having a lined piece of paper next to you, and it's like, you look at the time, it's like 12:15, I'm in my mastermind. 12:30, I went to the washroom. 1 o'clock, I had got up for a smoothie. 2 o'clock, I was on social media. And you really start seeing what your time is going towards, and then looking at like, what is productive for my energy, like what is my energy going towards, that's really what is draining me and what is energizing me. It doesn't seem like a big shift. I mean, a big like thing to overcome. Like, yes, there's that mindset part of it of that I have to do this. So I would encourage looking deeper into that, maybe in class when we do some more mindset work or with your peer coach, as if you can work on that with your coach. In terms of that belief that's underlining that I have to do this, and if I don't, I'm not productive. Scheduling is what's coming up, but really, I just feel it's your conscious choice, and when you make that conscious choice, it's going to take some deconditioning, and it's going to feel a little uncomfortable. I know for me personally, when I switched to just working 3 to 4 times a week, there's so much judgment around that, especially as a mom who's pregnant or a mom who has a kid as well. It's like, well, first of all, you shouldn't be working so much. And if I do work, it's like you're working too much. And if I take that time off, well, isn't that such a luxury to have Fridays off? So there's always going to be that judgment. So I think you need to come to a place of like, what is the judgment you want to have? Like, what are the standards and the beliefs what are the standards you want to have around your life and your time? And you need, there's a lot, any of that resonate?
Mm-hmm. All of it.
Yeah. And Dominique can put here, like, I love that part too about a lot of people. I think I've shared this, that, people who are in 9 to 5 jobs, how much is actually gone towards their job. Sometimes they're like on the phone or they're talking with their buddies or, doing other things. I know I was guilty of that. I didn't work 8 hours straight.
No, I never worked 8 hours straight because it was work that I for real didn't want to do, so I wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't think there's one person who does that. And if you do, you get a point of burnout, right? Mm-hmm. So minute you said I'm tired, it's like, what's tiring you? Like, what are you putting your energy to? And you're reframing around taking a nap. Maybe if you want to look at that's quote of a job, right? Like, that's part of you being productive, scheduling that nap or breaking it up or giving yourself that freedom of like, I get to choose what's on my to-do list today, whether I want to do it or not. But I just think that energy, you just have this amazing life force energy. You can definitely do. That's not the issue. It's just a matter of what are you choosing to do that's going to be productive for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you start recouping back of that energy. But this is, we are always checking in and checking with ourselves and adjusting and reconditioning. Even this new schedule you come up with, at some point, maybe that expires and you want to shift that again, right? But you get to choose because you're you and you have your own business as well.
Yeah.
Jillian, what would you like to add there?
Well, I'm just wondering, like, Roz, when you're spending your 8 to 5, what is it that you're doing? Is that time on intro calls and with clients?
It's 50-50 most days.
Okay. So what are you doing with the 50% that you're not actively engaging with people coaching?
I'm typing up client notes. I'm doing homework. Taking a break to go walk the dog. Okay. She's got to get out.
Yep.
And I don't eat lunch much. I mean, that's not new because I just kind of work through lunch anyway. I mean, you know how it goes.
Yeah, I've been in IT. I know how that is. Yeah, eating at my desk.
And I think a lot is a learned behavior. And I think that something like the other 50% goes to just like in the business, like working the business and doing like other stuff outside of business too, like personal stuff. Like I'm the house manager over here.
Right. And you probably did that while you were working, right?
Yeah.
Like so that's not really different. Like, so, I mean, kind of to the point that most people don't actually work 8 hours, like just how can you repurpose all that time that you didn't work in that 8 hour to do the things that light you up and that you want to do? Mm-hmm. And the other thing that like is sort of coming up for me, and tell me if this resonates for you, is that there's a little bit of like trying to force the business, like doing things like busy work to try to make it happen. And obviously as a generator with wait to respond, you might want to take a look at that and see what kinds of things are you doing that are like trying to force as opposed to allowing things to flow.
I don't know exactly if it's trying to force, or if it's more of I don't want to fall behind and have all of this stuff that I now am behind on, and I don't want to be in the pressure cooker where I got to get it all done in one day. So so I don't know if that's the same thing, but in a different way. But I always feel like, let me hurry up and get this done because I don't want to fall behind. I don't want to be late. I don't want to fall behind. It's always like, you know, the little chicken chasing its mom. Like, I don't want to fall behind. Like, come on, hurry up. Get this done. So you don't have, you're not falling behind on anything or running late on anything, which ends up happening anyway in some cases because it's like, I'm tired. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Well, and so it sounds to me like it might be time for you to do the lit list exercise and maybe consider who can help or be a support in your business that you can delegate some things to.
The lit list is something we learned in the Starseed Coach Training program. Yeah, you're on point there, Julian. And actually, what I wrote down as Julian was talking is like, what's the difference between what we think we have to do and what is actually a priority to do? So it falls into like that busy thing. So if you were to actually write down everything you're supposed to do, because really you're always going to have something to do with running your own business, really taking a look like what is a priority, like what needs to be done today. I work well in like categories of like just 2 or 3 major things a day or just 2 or 3 things a day versus what we think we have to do, right? So sometimes we're like, because maybe doing a website copy feels longer, there's more time that goes into that feels like we need to do that now, but it's not really due, or does it affect anything else till the end of the month, right? So we would like focus on that versus taking off something such as, you know, maybe coming up with one post or your podcast idea for this week, right? Because so really just taking a look like really what do you think is important versus what is actually important? What is the priority?
Yeah.
And what makes you feel accomplished is the last thing. Like what makes you
done?
Okay, so how many things need to get done in order for you to feel accomplished?
It's not a lot. It's not a lot because like I have a running list going right now of things to do. Where's my list?
So what would make you feel accomplished by the end of the day? Is it just doing one thing really well, or is it like 2 or 3 little tasks? What will make you feel satisfied by 5 o'clock today?
It's not so much the number, but the ones that I prioritize, because when I go through my to-do list, I prioritize them.
Okay.
Like with the exclamation points. I don't know if anybody has an iPhone, but you can prioritize by high, medium, whatever, critical, whatever.
Right.
And if I can get my high priority things done, like maybe 3 of them done, I'm feeling all right. I feel like, okay, I can do some other stuff. But I think the problem comes when I start to add more high priority things on, because it's like, well, let's do this too. Let's amp it up a little bit.
Yeah, and I get the sense that your high priority things are pretty intense or pretty lengthy as well. So if you're doing like three may sound like a small amount, but what if I don't know, like you take a look at like how much time committed is even that one high priority thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think you have a lot. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm looking at my list right now. It's like I got one high priority thing left right now, and it's like it's not done, but it's in the process, so I'm okay.
And it keeps more and more will come up as we like talk about this. But to me, it's like even being on the mastermind, do you even account for things that you are doing? Like showing up on the mastermind, do you account like doing social media or meeting with a client or, you know, doing one intro session that day? Like, is that even being accounted for? How much you like, are you seeing the things you are doing is what I'm saying, right? Or just focusing on, oh my God, there's this list that I didn't get to yet, but you didn't even see all this stuff how you showed up. Because I already know you have 2 things today, the mastermind and class later tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus your daughter, plus probably dinner.
Yeah, and a client at 3.
Then 5 things already.
Yeah.
Right? So I get there's more things in the business, but are you seeing the things that you are doing as well?
I'm doing a lot. I'm always doing a lot, and I just don't want to feel like I'm doing a lot.
Okay.
And I want to get it. I want to get a lot done in a small amount of time because one, I wake up late. Well, not really. I wake up early to get her dressed and get her out of the house, and then I go back to sleep sometimes.
Yeah, that's 2 tasks and one already there. Like you
Yeah,
need to account for
it's
that.
tiring because it's like dressing a dead body sometimes. Like she's 4. She's asleep.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I understand that completely. So I think you have a lot to work with there, right? Like create that list, prioritize, account for the things you are doing. Cause I get a sense you're not even accounting for that, and know that that's a task as well. And really, how do you want your day to look? If you can get to the core vibration of how you want to feel, then what needs to line up to make that happen? Maybe it's doing less or just or doing more of what lights you up and getting rid of those. And I know that's layered, but that guilt, that fear of it's not enough, that conditioning that you have to work. And if you don't work 9 to 5, then you're not productive. You're not accomplished.
Yeah.
A lot's there.
And just one last thing that's coming up for me is that if I look back at history, because this is a cycle for me, this is probably an indication that something is getting ready to offload or something needs to offload.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, this is the work. You want that life of business and flow, of ease and flow. This is the work, right? Like somebody's going to have to offload in order to get there. You're on track. Good question, though. Very good question.
Thanks,
Roz.
I appreciate the support, y'all.
No problem. Okay, who would like to go next? Hi, Natasha. Thanks for joining us. Jordy, let's have you on the hot seat.
Hi, everyone. So what Ross was saying resonated a lot, but my issue is, I'm about to hit a month since I quit my corporate job to do coaching full time. So a lot of mixed emotions are coming up. Obviously, I went from the frustrating phase, the exciting phase. Now I'm in the why I said not happening phase. Because before I was getting clients without trying. It was just word of mouth. People were served and they would get me other clients. And now I feel, granted, it's self-inflicted pressure, but it's like now that I'm doing, nothing is happening. Now that I'm actively engaging, now that I'm actively promoting, and I don't want to say nothing is happening because I do have a workshop tomorrow that has 35 RSVPs and there's potential there. But I feel like I want to see something like a new client or numbers. And I'm hitting that point of like, not second guessing, but what is it that I'm not doing? Or what is the best way to get the same reaction that I had before, where like people gravitated to me and I didn't have to try that hard. Because I do want to make it a sustainable business, but I still haven't found the formula. And I don't want to get frustrated until I give it a real shot.
Yeah, I love this question. Okay. So I heard you say, what is it that you're not doing? What was it that you were doing before that brought those clients in without marketing or actively looking for them? What were you doing before?
Talking about it, I was excited. I was I just got certified. I'm excited to try this new tool. I'm excited to do that. And people were, oh my God, my friend said you're doing this. I would love to try it. And then they would get it and be like, it changed my life. And they would tell their friends and it just became a conversation. And like everybody was having fun.
Okay. And what was the energy around that for you during that time?
It was exciting. It was fun. It was, it felt good to talk about it and to try new things and to do it. It was fun back then.
And then what changed?
And then it became my job. And now it feels a little bit more stressful and a little bit more pressing than like, this is just extra money. Now it's like, eventually I have to pay my bills. Mm-hmm. I can't live on my savings forever. Mm-hmm. So it's great, but the connotation changed. I still love what I do, but I'm not having fun anymore.
Yeah, it's a different energy for sure that's underlining it. And you said it's became your job. So what does having a job represent to you?
Stability, security, being able to provide for myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm hearing 2 different energies there. Like you had that pressure and there was less doing. And there's a lot of, I remember too, working with you, responding less, there was more waiting and responding for you. You allowed it to come to you as a magnet. You were still doing things. You were obviously you were getting certified. You were excited about it. You were talking about it and people responded to that. It gave you something to respond to. Right. Mm-hmm. And now with this switch with it's very practical, and obviously it changes things and what you see and what you do throughout your day. It changed the energy there. And there's feeling like you mentioned, it just, there's that force and I have to do, and then the action and the focus and the intention and the energy is different underneath. Which you probably obviously know. So there's just a few things that's coming up, and I feel like this may be like stuff you already know, but in terms of like, how can you get back into that place of excitement and ease and flow versus force? Because it's that energy of force that's really pushing it away and it's coming from fear, right? And I got to hurry up, I got to do this, and the timeline's coming up, and if I don't get this money, then blah, blah, blah. So that energy, right, is obviously naturally what you put out is what you're going to get in. I think you know that much so far, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, because it's not that I don't want it. Like the things that I used to enjoy, like being on stories and talking, like now it's like, fuck, I have to, sorry for the cussing. It's like, oh my God, now I have to do this. And thinking of a reel I could spin for 4 hours and not get anywhere, or thinking of a story. And I like, before it was just fun. Like, let me show you my setup. Let me tell you about my day. And people would gravitate to that. But now it's like, if it's not good enough, I'm judging it. If it doesn't feel fun, it's like, I want to convey something that I'm not feeling, versus before I was feeling it and it just came out. So yeah. I don't know how to shift back into that mindset of I'm supposed to be enjoying it, because worst case scenario, I have to go back to my corporate job. Did I enjoy the time that I gave this business? I'm not having fun.
Yeah.
And I want to, I miss it, because it was a lot easier. It was a lot easier to wake up smiling and happy and jump on camera and talk to people than like, it just wasn't so structured and so it feels like the same energy that I had around my corporate job, like I brought it to this new job.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to shake it off, because this is not supposed to be a job. This is supposed to be like my life's passion, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So that's the next part I want to talk, because it for sure, like, I think you understand energy enough to know, and sometimes you just can't get into that like light feeling, expansive, excited place, because reality is here. So I feel like it will be like a mindset shift, because I heard you say, the thing that I wrote down here, what stood out is like, why is it not happening? So it's our relationship around like what's not happening. So I'm going to go a little tangent on this part, because I feel this is a huge part. So we leave our jobs, we want to start our coaching business. I want to talk about long-term change versus short-term change, right? So it sounds like you have set a short-term goal over a long-term goal. Because when we enter into this, building your business, this is a long-term goal. This is a long-term change, right? So if your goal was only to like, I need one client by the end of September in order to keep this going, it could possibly happen, but there's a lot of pressure around that. So what I'm trying to say here is changing our mindset around this change in your life, because this is a long-term thing. And I'm assuming rest of your life, knowing you and what you're going through. And I know your passion and your mission behind this. And so when we start looking at this, what if this is happening? Like it's happening now versus, I know you want the tangible, but if we shift our mindset and our energy of like, I'm in it now, I'm in it for the long haul. So it is like doing the daily work. It's you showing up to class. It's you doing your private clients. It's you doing all these things that you are doing without the attachment of what it has to look like. I think that will start loosening up the hold on like it has to happen now, because it is happening. This is what it's going to take. And I think there's this perception, I'm going to like this fantasy of like, I'm going to quit my job and my business is just going to blow up. And that means I did the right thing, right? There's this fantasy around it. There's this falsehood around it. And I think is what's limiting it. So I think we need to start believing and understanding that you did this for the long haul, not for the short haul. And if it is for the short haul, then probably coaching is not for you, which I know it's not that case for you. That means you were just in it for like 1 or 2 clients. And then I did it. And then I'm good. Let me just continue. But you did this for the long haul. So we need to start changing our relationship around that, because this is what life is going to be. Right? You're going to end up getting those 3 clients or whatever, how many clients you want. And then they're going to be like maybe a mellow down stage, right? And then you're going to do that again. And then, so when that happens, after you get the 3 clients, yes, of course, that's exciting. But then what happens when those clients leave? Are we going to go back to like questioning like all our work, our passion, our mission, our purpose, just because the clients are not here. So what I'm saying is we need to detach from what it needs to look like, and that proof, that tangible proof we need to see in order to know that this is the right path. Right? So when we detach from that and really get down to how much do you trust this is for you? How much do you believe in your mission? How much do you believe in your soul's guidance? How much are you going to start incorporating? This is the work. This is the beautiful time to do the work of like, this is how I want my business to be. I want to feel that ease and flow and that freedom with or without clients. Right. And yes, you can use this information like, hey, this is where I need to maybe redirect. And maybe this is where I start implementing payment plans or really working on the program that I'm going to do. And I think that will start shifting the energy when we start having a different relationship of these long-term change, our relationship with long-term goals versus short-term goals. So I feel like we set short-term goals on long-term change. Does that make sense? So to give another idea on this, it's like we work so hard, we want to have our partner come in, then it comes in, and then we're like, okay, but then why is it not everything I want it to be? It's because that's a long-term commitment. That's the word I was looking for, is commitment. Because yeah, you get the guy or and people, so because the fantasy of like, I thought I had my happily ever after. Do you know what I mean? So we need to start understanding there's a difference between long-term commitment and short-term commitment. And you're in the long-term goal, you're in the long-term commitment, and this is it, right? So when we take that pressure off that it has to happen now, that's short-term commitment over that you've set on something that's really long-term. Does any of that start loosening up some of that tense vibration or anything speak there?
Yeah, I even felt emotion come up a little bit when you said, it's almost like I'm looking for a confirmation that like, I did it. I got the 3 clients or whatever. And it goes back to my need for like approval and having something to show.
Yes.
And it's crazy because I really am looking at it like when I hit X amount of clients and X amount of money, like I did it, but it really doesn't matter because it's not about 1 month. It's about my entire career as a coach. And it's like starting a new job. It's hard to be kind to yourself when you're tying it to having something to show for it. Like, what are you doing? Why are you not delivering? Instead of get away from the outcome and just day by day, like that really shifted a lot for me.
Good. Because remember, you were in the industry of outcomes. Work 9 to 5, get the biweekly check, and that wasn't enough, obviously, or else you would have stayed there, right? So you're in the industry for the real transformation, the change, and this is the work to do. So if you want to continue feeling this pattern of when I see it, then I feel good. When I see it, then I feel good. You're going to experience the same pattern. When I don't see it, I'm not going to feel good. When I don't see it, I'm not going to feel good. So this is where you change it for the long haul, for the long-term commitment, so that you are in the vibration and the feeling of freedom and flow. And I have done it. I trust myself. I am here. This is the path. Deep trust and faith. And faith is seeing it before you believe it. And that's when you're going to eventually start seeing it show up more. Right? I hope that helped. That was a really, really good question.
It did. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Julian, anything you want to add before we move on to our next hot seat?
Yeah, just real quick. Jordy, you mentioned that you're struggling with like the social media, feeling like you have to do it. And so what do you really love to talk about?
I love to talk in general. I'm afraid to turn on the camera and have it scripted and it doesn't feel genuine. And then
don't script it. Just turn on the camera and talk. Like that's what this business is about. It's about conversations. And if you want clients, you just need to talk to a lot of people. And so just talk, because like, I think you're fascinating. Like, you know, we've had several conversations and you have a lot of really great experience. You have a lot of really great insight. Just talk, because that's what you want. You want someone to start a conversation with you so they can become eventually a client. And so maybe that'll help relieve some of the pressure. Like stop thinking about scripting it or it being perfect or being on topic and just talk.
Love that.
Yeah. And that's what I'm doing. I think I'm just probably going to go live one day and just let it flow and see what comes of it.
Yeah, and I think all of this stuff you're struggling with is going to resonate with people too. Like, I've heard like several people here have said this resonates for them. I know it's resonated for me when you've talked about this struggle in the past. So, just talk about it, because other people are going to want to like talk about it with you. So yeah, just be yourself.
Okay, Julian.
It's so funny how it comes back to that. And you had said that, Jordy, when I asked, well, what brought in the people? You're like, I was just talking about it. And there wasn't that structure. There wasn't those like velvet ropes you had to stay in and trying to follow and be perfect. It really sounds like that constricts your energy and your flow, and your energy is what's going to attract people. So yeah, 111% back up Julian on that.
Thank you.
Just have fun. And actually, sometimes when I do see your stuff on Instagram too, I actually want more. Like, you would just come on and say something and you would just do that post. I'm like, I want more. I want to hear more of you. So like, don't feel that constriction. You have to follow something in order to be successful. Just follow your energy and your flow and your desire.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. That puts it in a different narrative, and I just have to get past pressing the button and then just let it flow. See what happens.
Do it.
Thank
Let
you.
us know how it goes. You're welcome. Let's check in with one of our new guests. Tanush, do you have anything you want to share?
Well, first I want to say hello to everyone and thank you for this opportunity, Minerva. This is my first time joining you. And Jordana, thank you for what you just shared. I can tell you that I've been experiencing somewhat the same experience. I graduated with Minerva's class back in March, and it was really fascinating how fast clients were just coming to me. And at first I put it out there, oh my gosh, how am I going to get 3 clients to coach just to get my certification? And the next thing I know, within a couple months, I had like almost a dozen. And it was fascinating. It was like every day, just like you, Jordana, I couldn't wait to get dressed and ready to go get in front of camera and work with these amazing souls that were that had come my way, and to help them transform their lives. But what I did was, it felt so right and it felt so good, and it was like a drug. Like, I couldn't get enough of it, so I didn't want it to stop. And because I started as a practice, like, I need to practice this, I need to learn this. So that practice eventually turned into 6 months of free coaching for all my clients. I never turned it into money because I felt like I still need to practice. I still need to practice, but yet they were like getting real value from my coaching. So I went to Mexico for a month in the last month, and I came across a lot of spiritual people that came my way. And this one lady said, you are blocking energy of abundancy and money, because money is energy. And by you not allowing this to come through, you're blocking it. So I made a conscious decision at that time to put a letter out, personalized for each one of my clients, and made it very like, hey, we've been working for 5 months, 6 months, 4 months, and here's what's happened. Here's all the transformation, the greatness that has come into your life. Amazing. So now I'm also working on myself. And as part of that, and some of the spiritual beings that came through in my path and have told me that I need to create this abundancy of the energy of money to flow into my business and into my life. So here's my rate, but I would like to offer you what you can pay, what you can afford, because I've been working with you for, this long, and and it's been free, obviously. So I want to just give that offer to you. And what I found was about 60% didn't even respond.
Yeah,
But
they're on a different vibration.
And I thought, wow, like not even a response of, thank you, I'm grateful for what you've done, but at this time I can't afford it, which is, I could totally understand. Like, I wasn't even asking for, like, I was just saying, give me $1, but just open that energy, right? But what did happen was I started really tapping into what, Minerva, you talk about the ease and flow, and not to force it, and not to, I didn't want to hit hard on the social media aspect of it and trying to sell myself, because I believe that what I'm doing is light work. And I believe that if I've been set into this path, if I have the good intentions, and if I keep, like you just were telling Jordana, if you keep plugging away and keep doing what you're supposed to do, show up every day and do what you're supposed to do, it will start coming. And through meditation, in fact, when I was in Mexico, so I got 3 paying clients, but one of them came right after I finished the meditation. My phone rang. I picked up the phone. It was a brand new client. And that, even though it's not the dozen, and even though it's not as grand, I didn't allow it to weigh me down and discourage me, because I believe in it. I believe in what we're doing. I believe in the work. I believe so wholeheartedly in the energy and the flow, and to just show up and just
I'm not sure, is it just me or is sorry, can everyone hear Tanush? Or is it just me? Oh, it must have been just me. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Tanush. Just for the purposes of, oh, I'm not sure why.
We just lost Minerva.
Okay, sorry about that. Can you all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, because I can hear you, so I just wanted to pause you before. Okay, Dominica, thank you for being here. If there's anything I could do to support you, just send me an email and I'm happy to answer it that way as well. Thank you. Yes, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So thank you for that beautiful share. I'm wondering, is there anything specific you would like support with today, or did you just want to share today?
Yeah, I just wanted to just sit and listen to everyone else, and, see if everyone's experiencing what I'm experiencing, and just share my experience.
Yeah, well, money is a huge one. I just think that's just such a beautiful example of what you have there about, those who just kind of dropped off is because there was a different vibration. And to me, that what came up was like scarcity vibration. So it matched them. So yeah, it was very convenient because it matched that. But then even though you may not have the 12 clients booking at the same time, at least you have 3 quality high paying clients, and people who align to that where you're at vibrationally. I really truly feel that your clients do line to your money vibration, your money consciousness. So when I had a lower vibration around money, not to say I didn't enjoy my clients or I didn't, have good clients at the time, but there were more challenging clients for sure. And those who couldn't pay, or it was too much, or when my prices increased, they didn't respect that or didn't understand that. But when I worked on it, I think it's again a long-term commitment of money consciousness, at least for me. When I increased that and I, did the work to feel 100% comfortable with that, and I could say without flubbing over what my costs are, I have clients who are like, okay, no problem. How do I pay? Or do you do a payment plan? And I just noticed the quality of clients that come in are higher. Their commitment is better. The results are greater. And so I really believe our clients are a reflection of us. And I rather work with 3 high level clients than 12 people who are and getting subpar results. Yes. So I really think they just match our money energy. Julian, anything you would add to that?
Yeah, I just think that people, it is an energetic exchange, and people receive the value that in proportion to what they give. And so when people are getting it for free, they don't inherently value it.
Yes. and they get a different result. Their commitment is, they're not fully bought in commitment wise, doing the work in between sessions and afterwards. And I also find they expect like, oh, well, you said this and this was going to change, and it didn't, because they just thought you like just had this, they're paying for some sort of like booklet or tool, or you're just going to fix it for them. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. But yeah, you have some, I think it's just such a beautiful, to me also what I'm hearing in that is like when you opened up to that, when you're just like, yeah, okay, like I just want clients, they came in, so they matched your energy. So like, what if you match, what if your energy was like, you know, if you energetically, you want to receive more clients who are, you know, paying that exchange of what feels good for you, like you need to be that energy and align, and it'll come. It just sounds like when you put it out, it comes. When you put it out, it comes. So I'm just hearing just a magical being, like you have the energy, just be conscious of where you direct that energy so that you're getting more of what you want. Yeah. Thanks, Tanuj. Also, I want to check in with Shelly and Natasha to see if there's anything they need. Shelly, how can we support you today?
You know, the one thing that I struggle with the most in my business in selling anything is selling. I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
And what do you sell, Shelly?
Do what?
What's your business?
So I'm a medium, and I write programs that help people walk through with gene keys to walk through certain things in their life, to help bring up and deal with ancestral karma so that we can send it forward, backwards healing. And I mean, so I have regular clients who come in for mediumship or for tarot. And then I have clients who come in for programs that I write, women's circle, trauma circles. So there's a lot of stuff that I cover. And I have no problem with getting on camera. I have no problem with doing any of that stuff. I love it. And I'm a lot like Jordy in the fact that I do much better just speaking off the cuff. I can't pre-write it. If I do, I feel like I'm boxed in. So I write it out, get an idea, and then I put it to the side and don't look at it.
Yeah. So how do you end up getting your clients?
I'm sorry?
How do you end up getting your clients?
Because I sit in the moment of happiness and just talk about it, and inevitably they just come to me. And so I'm still working a day job, and I'll be quitting eventually, but I like being able to just talk about it, and then people go find my website and sign up. And I know that can't work when I'm trying to sell this bigger program, and that's what I need to get past. And I'm not sure how to do it. I'm a manifester, so I feel, and I have this whole thing going on, and I just feel yucky when I talk about money. I hate it.
You're a manifestor in human design?
Yeah.
Yay. Nice to meet you, manifestor. I'm a manifestor too. So you just said something there that I just want to get a little bit more clarification. So when you're in your happy place, you just talk about it and people go to your website and they come to you. But when what's the last thing you just said is that what did you just say?
Anything. I hate it.
Say that again.
I don't like talking about selling things. I dislike it completely.
What is it that you don't like talking about for selling?
Anything. It feels very salesy when I try to talk about, here's this. I don't have no problem talking about my program. None. I'll talk about it until I come home. Asking somebody to pay for it, that's a problem.
Okay. So what's the difference between talking about your program and then asking them to pay for it?
At some point, to me, it feels like I've switched into a used car salesman, just very pushy. And I'm not a pushy person.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. So I was going to say you're probably doing some tactic that is not aligned to you and what you were taught. So it's going to feel very like, okay, now I got to go into points A, B, and C in order to ask. So let that go. And I think being a manifestor, your strategy is just initiate and inform. And I think a lot of what people end up doing, for me, I don't feel like I have to sell anymore. So I totally understand that feeling of, okay, it's coming to the intro call and I got to go into these parts, and it just starts feeling like this constriction. But I think when you come from a place of well, I'll just share what worked for me as a manifester is talking about the program. I mean, my last group program was like a really big success for me because I really felt like I was the most natural and aligned. So I would just talk about, it was called Live Your Impossible. And I just talked about how I overcame that and achieved my impossible. I talked from the heart. I talked about, here's some tools, here's some strategies. This is what we're going to talk about. If you are interested, then this is the price. This early bird is here. And then this registration closes here. And people came. I didn't have to like chase anyone. I just informed them that this is the information, right? This is when we start, how many weeks, this is the cost. If you're interested, go to the link or DM me. Some people I reached out directly because I knew where they were at. I got an intuitive sense as well. Even some downloads are like, go reach out to this person. And I did that. So it was a different, take out the sales like of it, because I didn't feel like once there was a sales transaction in any of that. So I think despite just going deeper into what does sales mean and blah, blah, maybe just throw that out completely and really just start informing people. Like, you have this vision, you have this intuitive hit, you created this incredible program. Do you believe in your program?
Oh, absolutely. I wrote it for me.
Exactly. So you're here you create something by going through it, right? Or you've created this, whether you've gone through it or whatever, like that passion is so magnetic. So you've created something, talk about it. Talk about the intention behind it. Talk about what you went through. Talk about maybe a client that you've experienced that went through this. Just talk about it. Just inform people about it and take out and those who are interested will follow. I feel like you have to direct them, because one thing that changed for me is knowing in an intro session that I can say, well, this is what we need to do, or this is what you need to do. You need to commit to 6 months and it's weekly. And people are like, okay. And that was new for me. Versus the old way, the salesy way is like, well, I have these 3 packages. There's this one, this one, this one. Which one would work for you? How do you feel about that? Right. So I felt, and then I'm kind of in limbo of like, do they think it's too much? Do they want this one? But when I said, okay, I only work with clients for 6 months on a weekly basis, they're like, okay, how do I pay? Right. It was more directive, so I can just inform. So I just felt more confident around that. But I also just spoke from like when I felt like it was a right match, right? If I felt like it wasn't a right match, I'm like, go work on this, or let's check in later. So in all of that, what I'm just saying is just speak from the heart, inform, speak from that place that does inspire you and light you up, and just inform people. This is the next step. This is what you need to do if you're interested. So you're not chasing people, you're not convincing anyone. That's going to be very, very draining. At least I found that for me. Mm-hmm. Does any of that help for you?
Tremendously. I think just the switch is just going from looking at it from sales to informing, because I could talk until the cows come home. So.
Yes.
At this point, I'm not asking for anything. And I think that's where the problem comes, is that I'm asking. I don't like asking questions in my posts. I just like telling people, here's what you need to do. Yes. And now that's part of the manifester in me. And so if I switch it from the salesy mindset to, I'm just informing people. And if they pick up on the vibration and it's right for them, they're going to join. And if not, they're not my type. You need to keep moving. Exactly.
It changes the energy and your power versus smalling yourself. And I feel like when we put ourselves in the sales box, we just small ourselves to what like the conventional marketing people say we should do. And we got to throw that as far out of our vibration as possible.
Yeah. I don't like I see people post on Instagrams and I see them ask questions, and that's not how my audience responds. My audience responds. I say, here's what I want you to do. Drop in a hand, drop in a heart. And they do. I get the responses that way. Yeah. And so it definitely works more for me. And I never looked at it that way from the HD point of view, where it's informing rather than asking. Yeah.
And we go deeper into that in our certification program as well. When we go deeper into conscious marketing with using our design, it really changes and shifts it how you show up and how people respond. Julian, I know you probably have to jump off. So anything you want to add before you go?
On those higher price offers where you kind of need to do an intro call, just go into the intro call with the expectation of having a conversation to understand where your client is and if they're an energetic match, and don't think of it as a sales call. It's a total mindset shift, because I used to hate intro calls and having to like try to ask for a sale. I'm a manifesting generator, so I do have that way to respond. But usually if I just have a conversation, there's something I can respond to. And once I have something to respond to, then I can inform as a manifesting generator. And so that works well for me too. But yeah, just, I keep telling my whole theme this year is just talk, just have a convo.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I go in, and also the informing before you jump on that intro call. Like when I change my sales page, I'm like, this is what it needs to this is where you need to be, or this is who it's for. This is what's going to happen. So I really go in, like I do a screening before the screening call. So when they come in, I really come in with the mindset that they're going to book. And like my turnover rate is basically like 75, 80%. I may have less intro calls, but that's okay with me because that's good for my energy. And I think as a manifestor for you, we got to be mindful of our energy, like we work in spurts. So I every other client, like a third of, not third, 2/3 of my clients, if not more, is thanks, Julian. They book. It's because I just have a different perspective, and I just go into it as like, this is a conversation, and I'm just going to form them of what they need, or form them of if I'm not the right fit or not, or if are they the right fit for me. And so it just changes it. So it's just the energy around that. Just show up in your power. You're here to create, you're here to inform, and people will follow.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks, Shelly. If anyone has to go, I totally respect that. Feel free, but I do want to check in with Natasha to see if there's anything we can support her with, and then we'll end it for today. Hi, Natasha.
Hey. With me, it's still me struggling trying to get practice clients.
Okay.
At first, when I put my Facebook page out, it was more me not really posting it to the friends I already had on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So I did something different last week, and I, went public with those, and I got a lot of following from people following my page now. So I guess I think I want to know, like, what else do I actually need to get my camera and talk to them and tell them, what it is I'm doing versus just making posts.
Yeah.
Trying to get clients that way.
Yeah. So a lot of initiating is what I'm hearing for you. And I know as a projector, it comes with your strategy is to wait for the invitation with a recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So number one, with projectors, you also have to work in spurts and be mindful of your energy. So you're going to experience that burnout and that force and that resistance and pushing away of the things you want when you are initiating and forcing things. Okay. So energetically wise. And then how does it even feel in your body to be doing this, to come up with more posts and follow up with people? Like, how does that even feel in your body? Not good?
No, not good as far as me trying to, like, at first, originally it was me trying to get ideas as far as to what to go on the post. But then I found your template that you posted for the class.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it a little bit easier to use some of those things and put my information in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I guess with me, it's more so piggybacking off of somebody else's idea and making it mine.
Yeah. And here's the thing with projectors, like you are a guide, like you're a great guide for our collective. And so you have this innate bright wisdom, and that when you talk about it, people will recognize you. When you talk from the heart or talk from that lit up space or that energized space within you, people are going to resonate with it. But it has to come from that place of, first of all, what's coming up is like there's a lot of draining energy. You need to come from that place of where you are energized and lighter, and you're working in smaller spurts for yourself, so that then when you come from that place, then you speak on the uniqueness from you, like you speak from you, and not like how I tell you to do it, or any other experts or anyone else is telling you how to do it, because that's what's going to make you feel like you're not being yourself, right? And people are going to sense and pick up that energy, and therefore you're not going to be showcasing your wisdom and your guidance that's going to resonate with people. So does that make sense? So the first part is what I'm sensing. The first part I'm sensing is like, take out that force and that timing and the pressure there, and get back into that place where you could, maybe it is taking a social, maybe your clients are not even on social media, right? So it could be people around you. And so number one, I'm just getting the sense of like work in spurts. So it's just, I just keep seeing the words work in spurts, work in spurts. I just feel like your energy needs to come back to you. And then once you come back to that place and you come up, coming from that energized space, the word uniqueness is coming up, where then you can speak from that place. And when you speak, whether it's in a conversation or in a networking group or with your friends, or wait for that invitation. So someone needs to invite you and be like, it's invitation with a recognition. So, oh my gosh, what you were just saying just resonated with me, or your stuff, or I feel like you're really talking to me there. That's the invitation to go deeper. And then you're like, well, actually, I'm in the certification course right now and I'm looking for practice clients. If you are interested, let's book a call. We can do an intro call, right? So you have to wait. But when you're forcing it, then people are not going to come. So something in the way that you're doing it is pushing people away. And I get the sense it's the energy, and you're initiating too much. So it's a forceful energy, and you're initiating versus waiting for people to recognize you.
Okay.
I know that's a lot of the human design energy part of it, but I do feel like it ties in. Does any of that resonate at all, or something more do you feel you need?
Yeah, I mean, I always feel like I need to do more, or I guess put myself in the front of somebody to let them know that's how I'm always feeling. Or I guess because I've been working not in a projector way. So.
Right. And so the mind's going to get in the way. What's your authority? Is it emotional?
Splenic.
Splenic. Oh, so that's like, for intuition and fears and your instincts, right? So you can make like quick decisions for sure, but is a lot of those decisions coming from you, or are you listening to your own, or are you listening to outside conditioning, your own instincts?
It's my own, because like my mind tends to wander a lot. So there'll be my own ideas, and I'll come up with like, oh, I should do that. Oh, I should do that. So it's like a lot of times I have to walk around with a notepad, because so many things are, going through my mind, ideas and stuff.
Yeah. So the mind's going to get in the way for sure. So there you go. That's like a outside conditioning. You need to tune in with what your instincts are saying. Like that, like splenic is just about that. Basic instincts, intuition is just like that urge. It's just going to, versus if it's coming from your head. So how much is it coming from your instincts versus your head? Your head is going to lead you astray. It's not the authority. So it's going to convince you have to do it. You have to do more. And that's going to burn you out, which is the opposite of projector, because you need your energy. You need to work in spurts. One thing that's worked for one of my clients who was a projector is she's just like, I really just hate this Instagram thing. And I just feel like I have to post every day. I have to come up with a structure. I have to follow this flow. And we're like, then don't do it. Let's just throw it out. Forget the algorithms. Take your time away from social media and then come back with whatever feels good. She did exactly that. And then she just started showing up and just talking, like she just forgot about structure, forgot about like all of that. She took a social media detox. And when she came back, her videos where she was just talking about like, it's projectors have like this perspective, right? Because you can sit back and someone invites you. What's your opinion on it? And then she talks about it, and she just talks as wisdom and light. And she's like the guide. And people were just speaking to her like, and sign up for her small group coaching program. All because she didn't even have to talk about the program. She just talked about her perspective and her observations on things. And it was just about being in nature, about how people trigger you. And she when she's just stepped outside the box is when she started people just started coming to her. So yeah, those tools are there to help you when it feels good. But I think for you is forget about the posts and recoup your energy, come back to you again, speak from the instinct. What do you need to do to feel alive and to work in spurts again? And then speak from that place when you feel energized again.
Okay.
And you can do Facebook Live. You can do the Instagram Live or whatever it is, but also like around you, talk about it when it feels good, when you are invited to talk on it as well, or when you feel inspired, talk on it and people will recognize it and then move on to the next step of inviting them in.
Okay. It's funny that you said something about a social media break, because I was thinking about doing that during the social media break and, coming back and regrouping.
Yeah, because I think I get the sense it's people around you, it's your network, because you have a great network. And also be open to working with people too is what's coming up. Actually, you've been coming up in my thoughts. And I know if you shared before, it's like, I don't like people. So we have to clear that out, right? Because you are the great networker. So how do you not like people, but people want to network and be with you? So clearing out that gunk in those tunnels, right? To allow that to come in, because
people gravitate to me naturally. It's like I look like approachable.
Yeah. And when she smiles, I always tell her when she smiles, like it just lights up the world. Like, yeah. So there you go. People are going to come to you. I just think it's the energy, the door you're coming through the head, through the force, through I got to do this right now. So it's pushing people away. Take that detox, that cleanse, and then come from, you can speak. You don't have to necessarily wait to speak all the time. Like when you are inspired, when you're like, let me talk about my perspective on this, my observation on this, that's going to put you as that master, because you're here to master systems as well, but you're the great guide and you're going to master systems. Mastery is like a word that comes up. But I think it's just number one, being mindful of your energy, and then you can speak on that, but not in that forceful way. And then when you speak and share that light and that wisdom, people are going to gravitate to it. And then wait for that invitation with recognition, where they recognize you as the guide, as like, not to say the all-knowing one per se, but it'll come because people will gravitate to you, and then you'll move on to the next step of the practice clients.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Beautiful. Well, thank you everyone for staying over time there. I hope you found this helpful. Let me see. Yeah, and gave your perspective on them on social media when you feel like it, of course. Yeah, some great points and love the support here. So thank you everyone for joining. Our next one's going to be in September. Maybe I should give you the dates on that. If not, we are going to send the recording out and we'll put the date there. Yeah, so I just don't want to keep you all more time here, but I believe it'll be, I got to double check that. I will get back to you because I'm not sure if it's the 1st or the 8th, but it will be, the Tuesday, September 7th is most likely September 2nd. We will double check that and let you know in the follow-up emails with the recording. Hope you found this helpful. Hope to see you all again soon. And if any of those courses, the Freedom of Flow Mastermind, the next cohort, and even if you've already got a certification, a lot of people actually, it serves you well if you have a certification. It just elevates your game to the next level. You are welcomed into the next cohort for our high-level spiritual coaching. And then we have the human design course coming up. So email us at info@Starseed Academy to save your spot or be added to a wait list for the next round. And we will see you then. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.